Another horseshit performance from Manchester United. Absolutely diabolical performance from Manchester United, drawing at 0-0 against Crystal Palace. And how the fuck is this? I don't even know how we've got to this stage where this guy is still the manager of Manchester United. The previous few games have been so poor in terms of performances. Okay, we've got lucky and got a couple of results out of the bag and got wiped away by Manchester City. But Jesus Christ, this is just going on far too long. And after the first Juventus game, Jose Mourinho should have been fired, and he still hasn't. And this club is just turning into an absolute fucking joke. To stick with a guy that is just not getting nothing out of this team, and it was absolutely diabolical again today. He's put a team out there that should. I know people are saying, well, it's the worst team Manchester United have had in Premier League era and all this shit, but these players are top quality. Some of these players on that pitch are top quality players, and nearly every one of them attacking players has scored more goals or performed at a much better level for their countries this season than Manchester United. Nearly every one of them attacking players, besides Martial, who doesn't even get in the French team, has scored more goals for their country. Rashford, Lingard, Lukaku, Sanchez all scored more goals for their country. And this is an absolute joke for Manchester United that Jose Mourinho is not getting nothing out of these players. And we dropped more points today, and I'm afraid the top four, that is completely gone. Manchester United have got to just accept this season is completely gone now and move forward. I think the best thing for Manchester United to do would be just to get rid of Jose Mourinho now and just look forward to next season, because this has been an absolute joke. I just don't know how the club haven't acted sooner than this, because we're going absolutely nowhere. We have one or two lucky wins where we pull a result out of the bag where we've nowhere near deserved to get a result out of the bag, and then we have another one like this, because as I've said in previous weeks, the performances are nowhere near good enough. Against Bournemouth and against Juventus, both away games, the performances were absolutely shocking for most of the games, and somehow we come away with the win. And you're not going to do that many weeks at all. If you perform badly, you're not going to get the 3 points. Hardly at all is that going to happen. You may occasionally get it when one or two, because Manchester United have got world-class players on that pitch. We know we do. The manager is getting nowhere near the best out of it, and occasionally you will get a one-matter free kick, a good moment of bridge from one of the players to dig Jose Mourinho out of the shit. And today it hasn't happened again. And Manchester City, the game a couple of weeks ago, we got completely schooled by them, absolutely completely torn apart. And today we played like absolute dog shit. I just don't know what to say about that from Manchester United. Really poor. Manchester United, it used to be a fortress at Old Trafford, and we went loads of games under Jose Mourinho when he come to Manchester United without losing a home game. And just, we haven't lost today, but absolutely atrocious for Manchester United. Really is. The way these players are performing, I can't see how any of these players, pretty much any of them, would get in any of the top five teams in the Premier League. Other than obviously Manchester United should be in the top six of the bracket of teams in the Premier League, but the other top five, I can't see on the performances how any of these players would get anywhere near any of them teams. And that is an absolute joke for Manchester United. Even the likes of Martial, okay, scored a few goals recently, but would he really get in any of the other top teams? Probably. He certainly wouldn't get in the likes of Man City and Arsenal with their attacking players, and that definitely not. So, and even Liverpool probably not, because they've got a lot of good attacking players, and Tottenham have got the likes of Kane and Son, so and Ali, and so. But these players are not bad players. Some of these are not. You're looking at the likes of Rashford absolutely tearing it up against Croatia. Looking at Jesse Lingard scoring 2 goals and performing very well for England, and they're looking a shadow of their players. Alexis Sanchez scoring 2 goals for Chile on the international break, not even getting on till late in the game. Lukaku's looking like a lower league player. It's just an absolute joke. And I'm sorry, but this has got to fall back on the manager, because the manager is getting nothing out of these players, hardly at all. And I'm sorry, but there is no point now in keeping Jose Mourinho. What have we got to play for this season? We're not going to win the Champions League. Come on, man. We've got no hope of winning that Champions League. It would have to be probably the biggest shock of all time. I think it would have to be a much bigger shock for me than Leicester winning the Premier League if Manchester United won that Champions League. So we're not going to win that, and the FA Cup we've done pretty shit in most years. We've got to 2 finals in the last probably 2 decades. So the chances of us winning that are pretty remote anyway. And it caps off a season if you win the FA Cup, but I mean, if we change manager now, I mean, we're not going to finish in the top four even if we change manager. But if we could find, I mean, I don't know where we're going at this moment in time, Manchester United. I just don't know what the strategy is at Manchester United, from the manager, from the board, to the owners. I just don't know where Manchester United are going with this club. But if Manchester United could identify someone that's willing to take over this Manchester United job, whether that's Zidane or whoever it is, and they're willing to come in now and assess the team and look at what they want and start the process for next season, then for me that would be the perfect thing. I believe that we should have got rid of him in this transfer, this international break just gone. If there was someone else, obviously this is the problem, that it's looking like that there isn't a lot of options out there. There is only really Zidane and Conte out there, but who knows, maybe Manchester United want to go with someone in-house. Kieran McKenna done fantastic with the under-18s, winning the Division North with the under-18s last season, and Manchester United was scoring loads of goals, performing very, very well there. Okay, you did have a very good team, and we've got Michael Carrick in the club, who knows, could he be, I mean, none of these people could do a worse job than Jose Mourinho at this present moment. Jose Mourinho is, I think to be honest, the players are just down tools, and I just don't think you can turn it around. I just can't see how you can turn it around. When a lot of these players do not want to play for the guy, I cannot see how you can turn it around. And I said that a few weeks ago, and I haven't changed my mind. If somehow these players start performing for the man again, Manchester United were to go on and be fantastic, I would say that I'm wrong, but I can't see how you can turn this around in this day and age. The egos of some of the players, and I know some people will say, well, Jose Mourinho is a fantastic manager, look what he's won. Yeah, that is in the past. He's won a lot of good stuff in the past, but this is at the present at Manchester United, and he's not doing anything for Manchester United. And people can say, well, Fergie got rid of players when he fell out with them. Yes, he got rid of players, but the whole team here seems to. There's so many players that I know that do not want to play for this guy. And I've said this in previous weeks. I can name them all. The likes of Sanchez, Rashford. You got. I mean, I don't know about Lukaku, but you've got Pogba. You've got Marshall. You've got Eric Bailly. You've got Antonio Valencia. I mean, that's 6 players off the top of my head that I know do not want to play for this guy. You cannot get rid of half or more of this squad if they do not want to play for the guy. If you've got 1 or 2 players that do not want to play for the guy, yes, and the team is playing well and scoring goals and near the top end of the league, then yes, in the transfer window you can boot them players out. Sir Alex Ferguson did it. Sir Alex Ferguson was near the top end of the table practically every season, challenging for the league, and he'd been at Manchester United a long time and was able to, with his power at the club, was able to turn away players that he no longer wanted because they fell out with them, they were getting too big for their boots, whatever it was, he got rid of them. But he was up near the top end of the table, and nearly all the other players were performing for him, and none of these players are playing well for Manchester United at all. And I just do not know what Manchester United can do. We cannot carry on this much longer. We really can't. I mean, if we win our game against Young Boys, I think it is on Tuesday or Wednesday, we will probably qualify them for the knockout stage of the Champions League. So that would then be done and dusted, and it would be perfect to end it then and just move forward with a new manager, because we're not going to finish in the top 4 this season. We just got to accept that the top 4 race has gone. We cannot do that now. We keep dropping too many points. We're getting too far adrift, and it's just gone. The consistency just isn't there. You've got to be winning consistently on the run, and we've played over 30% of our games this season already, and you can't just turn it on like a tap. So we've got to understand that that's not going to happen this season. But we could. But with that being gone, if we can find someone else to want to come into Manchester United and be the Manchester United manager, because there's no point in keeping Jose Mourinho. He's not going to be here next season. There's no way he's going to be here next season, because he's not going to turn this around. Let's be realistic. There's no way he's going to turn this around now at Manchester United. We need to just move forward, go in a new direction, bring in a director of football, because it seems like Manchester United do not want to bring a director of football in until Jose Mourinho's gone. So get rid of Jose Mourinho, bring a director of football, and try and shift this around, because there's no point. Well, I mean, Jose Mourinho's looking to give players new contracts. I mean, Jesus Christ, what is the point? Some of these players aren't at the club, but he's trying to give new contracts to. The likes of Ashley Young, who are still playing out there today, and Chris Smalling, who are playing out there today, are not good enough. And a new manager will come in and will hopefully wise up to that and see that these players should be given the boot at Manchester United And if we were to get a new manager in now, if someone else wants to come in and do this job, then maybe Manchester United will release some funds in January that could at least stiffen up that defence a bit, because that was the only shock today that Manchester United actually kept a fucking clean sheet. We haven't had a clean sheet in fucking God knows how long in the Premier League. Only 2 clean sheets all season, which is an absolute joke, but we haven't even fucking scored today. Anyway, that's it. I don't know what else to say, to be honest. Mourinho, just get that guy out of the club. Just fuck off, Mourinho, because things aren't working out now. You were the guy I wanted to come in and replace Louis van Gaal. You were the guy I wanted to replace Alex Ferguson, but unfortunately it hasn't worked out, and we cannot carry on like this anymore. No other top club in Europe would put up with this. Chelsea would have given him the bullet by now. PSG would have done. Real Madrid. All these clubs, Bayern Munich, would have given him the fucking bullet by now. So why haven't Manchester United? This club is turning into an absolute joke. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.